To get started with the demo, I'm going to place the ProbeRanger base kind of as it came out of the package in front of the spark. There's a grounding cord for the ProbeRanger base. I'm going to click that onto the grounding point of the spark. There are two fixed rails that are screwed in to the base. There are two sliding rails that for packaging purposes are screwed into the base, but they're not used that way. So you can use one of the hex wrenches that came with it to unloosen each of these hold down bolts. Then with the bolts removed, you can take the sliding rails off, and you basically have the base and then the two fixed rails. This demonstration is going to make use of CCN's Demo and OSLT coupon. We use this since we know what some of the characteristics of the transmission lines are. Sometimes we can load this up with a number of different passive components too, and actually we offer it as a for sale item, basically a verification device for people trying to get started with probing where they want to know some known values. We're going to attach that to the ProbeRanger using these circuit board clamps that come with a ProbeRanger. The clamps can have any number of spacers in between, so there are these round washer spacers that go between the base part of the clamp and then the top part of the clamp. If you look carefully, the top part has a little bit of a foot on it that needs to go towards the circuit board. You can generally kind of position these just kind of by placing the circuit board down, kind of seeing where you want to grab it, and then screw these into the ProbeRanger base. The spacer, I believe, is about 30 to 33 mils, so this circuit card is a little bit thin for that, but since some circuit cards are much thicker, you have to build the spacers up a little bit. But you basically position the card approximately where you want it, and use these insulating clamps to locate the board how you like. You don't want to have, like I just did right here, you don't want to have the clamp get too close to your device under test because it will change the electrical performance. But they are insulating, so they won't short out any active components. With the test card in position, we're going to now add the sliding rails. Sliding rails come in the package with the carriages tightened really tightly, and that's mainly because we don't want to lose the screws during shipment. But I use the long hex wrench to loosen up the carriage attachment screws just a little bit. Open up also the adjustments on the carriage sliders. They adjust the tension. I pretty much bring them all the way out. Again, they're usually tightened all the way in for shipment. And then we put it onto the fixed rails. For the most part, we generally try to keep things perpendicular, but it's not that critical. In fact, there's enough play in the system that you can actually get some angle to the probe positioner itself just by moving the sliders past each other. For the most part, we do this configuration in kind of more or less at right angles. I generally tighten one of the screws enough to be snug, and I'll let the other one float. And that kind of cuts down on the binding as I need to slide the rail back and forth.